It can't be that bad, oh, 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 it can't be that bad. Alejandro just said to me before this episode, if he would let me fuck my future wife if my dick was somehow blown off and I was dickless and I could not have offspring.
And I'm offering you, as your best friend.
As
your best friend.
What?
I will be your sperm donor.
Yeah, you could maybe spit in a tube.
That's not how babies are made.
Yeah.
Babies are made through love.
Oh, so, okay, make love into a tube.
And through the will of God.
And then I'll take that tube.
I can't love a tube, Christian. I can't love a tube.
No, but you...
I can't.
You love your hand every single night, though.
It's not love.
Oh,
that's just a transaction.
You're loving your sock every single night?
Also a transaction.
Oh. But
I give that sock a place to live.
You ever... You are disgusting. You give that sock a place to live in this world by making it crusty?
It lives in between my bed and the wall, and it stays there until I need it.
Do you have two different hampers? Hampers for dirty clothes and another hamper for just dirty socks?
We're not keeping this.
We're keeping it.
No.
We're keeping it. You wanted to start off with this. At least you're organized.
Welcome, everybody.
Baddies, welcome to another episode of ICBTB.
Oh, is that what this is? I thought this was ruin Alex's future of ever getting a girlfriend.
I think that's your everyday life, man.
I think that's your everyday life. It's just your goal in life is to ruin me having offspring.
Don't.
But you know what?
What?
But you know what?
What?
If you couldn't have offspring, I would let you have mine.
I don't want my babies to look like you, man.
That's fucked up, dude.
No, I mean, I just don't.
Objectively, that's the most fucked up reason to not have me be your sperm
No,
donor. That is the shallowest. No.
Listen.
That is the shallowest. That is
How?
that is the most insensitive.
No.
That is the rudest thing you could choose to do. As somebody is so nice to you, for your instant response to be like, I don't want my kids to look like you. That's by far the meanest thing you could possibly say.
No,
and if you don't see how that's the rudest thing you could possibly say,
Hear me out.
Hear
me out. This is what it is. You are my best friend, and it's just going to be weird to see my kids that are technically my kids and see my best friend in them.
I think
that sounds kind of nice, actually.
Exactly. And
but
here's
it's
the thing.
going to be like, I know they're your kids.
Here's the thing. No, they're not. Because I'm not raising them.
But biologically is what I'm saying.
What does that mean, though?
It doesn't mean, it's just like in my subconscious, it'll be like,
so nature over nurture or what?
It's just going to be that they look like you, and I'll be thinking of you when
Every
I
time
want
you look at these kids. Is that such a bad
thing?
thing?
I'm down to adopt. If I were to not have be able to, I'm down to adopt.
I am a little hurt that you don't want.
You know how many, dude, are you fishing for a compliment? We know that you're good looking.
That's not what
growing up.
It means nothing coming from you.
I've always had to be, we would go to parties and I'd have to work on my personality so hard because hanging out with you and Austin, both gentlemen above 6 feet, and here's this kind of fat thumb looking Filipino guy.
You don't want your kids to be over 6 feet.
No, that's
You don't want
great.
your kids to have the best genes.
How about we talk about this when I don't want to say when my dick blows off because that's not.
Why don't we talk about when my dick blows off? That's the quote of the century. Why don't we talk about this when my dick blows off?
Oh my God.
We should add that to
We should blow off my dick.
Look, I don't want to talk about this right now. Why don't we talk about this when my dick blows off?
Holy
That's
shit,
a great
dude.
way to end any awkward conversation that you don't want to be in. Hey, I really want to finish this conversation, but why don't we talk about this
when my dick blows off? That should be a new saying.
That's better than when pigs fly.
That will never happen. Not even when my dick blows off.
And then there's a gas explosion.
And then my dick blows off.
And the lighter in your pants pocket.
Oh, fuck.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome again. We're going to welcome you again because that was fucking bonkers.
Because now you're finally here.
Yes.
You got 5 minutes of us hearty stomach laughing.
Yes.
And Christian making his blood oath to me that he will have a child of mine.
I'm not making any sort of blood oath to you. I'm saying if it comes down to it.
You're not going to make any kind of blood oath to me?
Nah, dude.
Not even a blood oath that we could potentially make to a genie/Satan to get us millions of dollars and be famous comedians.
No.
You wouldn't want that.
No.
You wouldn't want that.
I do not want that.
Well, I have some bad news for you.
You would need my blood too, right?
I got it.
What?
I'd
believe it. You just sneak into my room with a butter knife.
And a straw.
Are you a mosquito?
Bink. The butter knife is to close the wound.
With butter.
You'll never know.
And I wake up, I'm like, why the fuck is my arm slathered in butter?
Well, this is like Christian again. And you're like, I guess so. I don't even remember eating all that popcorn.
I guess I've been sleepwalking and eating again.
This is my favorite opening to an episode we've ever had. I hope we keep every second of this.
Every second will be kept.
None of this has to do with the podcast that we're going to do in the next 2 minutes, but I want to go one more round of trying to convince you to have my babies.
One more round?
Here's the thing.
Okay.
Melissa, great gal, beautiful skin, nice dance moves. Me, tall, skinny, American. These are the things that you want in both of your children. Mm-hmm. What?
Not what?
What?
You just list off your traits again?
I honestly don't know if I could.
Okay, let's try to imagine this hypothetical baby.
Me and Melissa's baby.
Okay, what's the name? Oh, yeah, this is weird. It's already weird, but we already committed to going in this direction. You and Melissa have a baby.
I don't get to name it. No.
I get to name it.
Hang on a second. It's not me and Melissa having a baby. It's you and Melissa having a baby.
With your sperm.
You're just buying ingredients from a different store.
Yeah, if that store were to just break into her vagina.
When I was a cook and we would run out of onions, we just ran across the street to the next restaurant and said, hey, can we borrow a couple of onions to get us through the night? Mm-hmm. That's all you're doing. Borrowing a couple of onions.
Weird analogy, dude. It's not onions.
This
is life. This is life.
You're borrowing one cell from me. Think about how many cells a day that I expel from my body. In 3 months, I change all of my skin. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm afraid of is if I were to agree to this, and I'm like, all right, Alejandro, you could go ahead and do it. If Melissa were to agree, obviously. We have to take her
That's a
thoughts
whole
into
other hill
consideration.
that I have to, and I will conquer that hill
You
too.
will not. You will fall down that hill and roll down. If I were to agree, and you guys go into a bedroom, it better be like 1 minute. You just gotta like get it done, and that's it. But if you're in there for an hour,
here's why I think there's a glimmer of hope. Okay.
What?
7 minutes ago, it was a hard no. And now you've already succumbed to if it happens.
I'm not.
No. So I'm already gaining ground. We will shelf this conversation for another episode. This will come back. Guys, we have a movie to talk about that has way other overtly sexual overtones to talk about.
Yeah, it's actually one of my favorite movies. I've seen it a bunch of times a few years ago.
Yeah, and actually I watched it fairly recently. It was on like HBO or something not too long ago.
Yeah, probably.
But the movie is called
The Girl Next Door.
It is not The Girl Next Door from 2007. It is The Girl Next Door from 2004.
This is a rom-com. It's not a horror movie.
I watched half of a horror film that I paid 99 cents for before I texted Christian and asked, is this the funny one we're supposed to be watching or the scary one? And he
I sent you a screenshot.
Funny.
I sent you a screenshot of
Christian,
the poster.
But we text so much, I cannot go back and look at old messages.
It's so easy.
Do you go back and look at old messages to find information, or do you just text me and ask the question again? The answer is you just text me and ask the question again. You know that's the truth.
Sometimes, unless I know you're asleep after 8 p.m. because you sleep really early sometimes.
But I do wake up sometimes in response.
Sometimes.
You're just going to get one response.
There's a search bar at the top of the text screen where you could search keywords in convos.
That's true. I have used that.
And if I need to find a picture or a screenshot, I could just go to the info button on our conversation, and you could find all of the photos right there. So you could have done that instead of spending $1 whole to watch a horror movie, and you're not a fan of horror, dude.
I'm not. And that movie is based on a real murder.
Holy shit.
And I started doing studying about this movie. Guys, watch the other one.
Guys, or watch this one, then listen to this episode.
We watched The Girl Next Door, which was released in 2004.
Yep.
The Motion Pictures Association of America rated this film R. Mm-hmm. It has a runtime of 1 hour, 50 minutes, or for Melissa, 110 minutes. It has a rating of 6.10. I'm sorry, that would be 7. but it is 6.7 out of 10.
6.10. I've just realized one.
6.7.
You do math, dude? I've never heard that in my life.
6.7 out of 10 on IMDb. We're going to cut that out so people don't think I'm stupid. 56% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 47% on Metacritic. Christian Balzar.
That's me.
Christian Baltazar.
That's also me.
Who are you?
Whatever you want me to be, baby.
I want you to be the guy who lets me.
No, stop. No, we're not going back to this conversation. And you are not going to win this battle by whispering it into the
I'm
mic.
trying to inception it to you.
No, it's not going to work, man.
Christian,
Hi.
you know what will work?
What?
You. I need you to work right now and guess what percentage of Google users approved of this film.
Okay, let me do some work in my brain. 85%.
You should have done some more work. That's incorrect.
What is it?
92%.
Wow, a lot of people like this movie, dude.
This movie had 1% more than the movie we just did an episode on. I don't know how they'll be released, so I don't want to say the episode number. But it does have a lot of fencing in it, and I can't wait to talk about that.
You were the most excited about the fencing rather than everything else in this movie.
No, dude, here's why I'm torn about this film.
What?
And I told you this when I walked in to the building today. Our studio's in a different building now, guys. It's just in a nice building.
Yeah, we've changed cities due to this whole quarantine. We went to a very remote place known as
Cincinnati.
That's right.
Cleveland. My name is LeBron James.
And my name is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
He's not from Cleveland.
Yeah, but you could have moved there, dude. I thought we were doing a basketball bit.
I met Kareem. We don't have to go into it, but I do like saying that every time his name comes up. This movie sometimes gets really deep, and like to the point where they take things very seriously, and the underlying tones of music make it very intense and made me very uncomfortable. And
Really?
Some of the things in this film, because then the next scene would be Chris Marquette being super silly and over the top, it made me uncomfortable.
What? No, I don't see how it made you uncomfortable. I think when it had those serious undertones to it, it's because they were tackling serious subjects.
But then why make it such... It's number one, it's a silly premise, and then why make it a comedy?
Speaking of the premise, let's tackle the synopsis.
Christian,
What?
would you like to read the synopsis?
I would love to read the synopsis because I love this movie. All right, the synopsis coming right at you.
Right at you.
18-year-old Matthew Kidman, played by Emil Hirsch, is a straight arrow overachiever who has never really lived life. ... Until he falls for his new neighbor, the beautiful and seemingly innocent Danielle, played by Alicia Cuthbert. When Matthew discovers this perfect girl next door is a one-time porn star, his sheltered existence begins to spin out of control. Ultimately, Danielle helps Matthew emerge from his shell and discover that sometimes you have to risk everything for the person you love. How do you not like that premise?
Before we get into that,
Yeah,
I want to say,
say it.
I don't want you to read the synopsis anymore because you do it better than me. I don't usually say the names of the actors, but you do, and it makes a lot more sense. It actually sounds better. In fact, I make it more difficult for myself by skipping over the names of the actors. And you make, yeah, so maybe I'm just a little sensitive.
Don't be sensitive. You could never hand me your laptop again. You could read it every single time from here on out. Next time, I'll mess it up on purpose.
Maybe you should just read it.
Maybe next time I'll read it in Talgalagan.
You're pandering to me again. And you know I hate when you do that.
You hate it. You hate it. Fine. Fuck me. No, don't give me that look.
Okay. This movie had a budget of $20 to $21 million.
Say that number again.
20.
22, 21. Like,
20,
is that like an estimation?
Between 20 and $21 million.
Oh, 20 to 21 million. Because you said 22, $21 million.
That sounds fine to me.
Sounds so confusing. There are 3 different iterations of that.
22, $21 million.
That was giving me a headache. My head hurts.
Baddies, if you understood what I was saying,
Comment below.
Christian, how much did it make off of those 20 to $21 million?
$50 million.
No, it made $30 million.
Okay. So some money. And I'm glad it made a profit because this movie deserves it. I think that it was led pretty well. I want to say that Emil Hirsch is one of my favorite protagonists. I think he plays a very good underdog, very innocent young dude.
I think Emil Hirsch does a great job in a lot of the films that he does.
Yeah.
He is an underrated actor who I think turns up in things that you don't really expect him to be in. He was in Lone Survivor and plays a great role in that film. He was also, he did like a Bonnie and Clyde teleseries on,
Oh, did he?
which was all right. But I think any movie or TV show that paints Bonnie and Clyde as competent bank robbers doesn't know how to do any fact checking. But that's
So it's not his
neither
fault.
here nor there. Christian, this is one of your favorite movies.
Yes, I fucking love this film.
Does this movie resonate with you because it's close to your high school experience, or does it resonate with you because it's close to your struggle with women? I don't know. Why do you like this film so
I
much?
think not even.
Did you have a hot girl next door? I believe you
No.
live next door to George Wo.
George Wo, shout out George Wo, hot Chinese man, as from what I've heard from other people.
That's what you've told me.
Yeah, no, with me, I really like the whole underdog story.
Yep.
And I like underdog stories that take place in high schools. I think that's a good environment. But in high school, usually it's filled with so much judgment and pressure to be someone that you're expected to be someone that you're not. So in this movie, I think they did a great job of...
It almost gets muddied for me. I'm going to say this right out. I'm sorry, guys.
Say it.
It can be that bad. This movie
What?
is pretty bad.
No, get out of here. We've watched worse films than this. I
there's
loved every
something-
second
there's-
of this movie.
There's something about this film that literally makes me uncomfortable. Like the lead up of him trying to get this porn star to be his girlfriend could have been the film. And I think that would have been funny. I think that would have been a comedy where him and Chris Marquette and Paul Dano are trying to convince this porn star next door to be his girlfriend and without her finding out that they know that she's a porn star. That would have been a funny film.
That would have been straight comedy, though.
But to take it that step further and go even deeper with it puts it in this muddy waters of not sure if it's a drama or a comedy. And that's why I don't like it, because the premise is kind of ridiculous. This girl next door who's super hot and falls for me idea.
I think it's possible. It does sound a little ridiculous, but it's definitely well, yeah. The girl next door being the niece of your neighbor, moving in and falling in love with the boy next door because...
First of all, people in our generation, in our society, don't know their neighbors. So you wouldn't know who that fucking person is. So if this person's niece moved in, you wouldn't even know. What's the name of your neighbors right now? What's the name of these neighbors right
Do you
here?
remember in this movie how she doorbelled next door to his house, and then he came downstairs, and they're saying, "Oh, this is Mrs. Peterson's niece." There was that preface.
I do remember
Yeah,
that.
and show her around.
But we don't know our neighbors, though.
Yeah, but this is in 2004. This is a little dated. Nowadays,
This movie's super dated.
It's very
That's not the
dated.
only thing that dates this movie. They say they dropped the F word and not fuck. The other one, multiple times for no
F-A-G.
reason. They didn't even use the fag.
no,
right.
it was just a derogatory term that they threw around.
Not even derogatory. They just threw it out.
They just threw it out.
I guess it's always derogatory. Anyways, I don't know, Christian.
Yeah, well, give me a chance to defend it. I love this movie.
You do. I love parts of this movie.
Yeah, and I think that's a subjective opinion, which is why, like, on
This
my
is-
end,
this is why we have a podcast.
and obviously 92% of Google
I
users like
cannot
this for
believe
some
that.
reason.
I don't know
I
why
think
it's
it
so
worked.
high.
I was a little nervous before watching this, saying like, okay, it's been a couple of years.
16.
I was probably like a middle schooler when I had seen this. It's been a lot of years now that I'm watching it with a new lens. Might I say?
As an adult.
As an adult,
Sure.
I might not like it. Loved it. I was laughing so hard at so many. I think that the cast was perfectly casted.
I laughed at Chris Marquette's and Paul Dano's interaction. Like
Chris Marquette was exactly the same character that he was in Just Friends. Ryan Reynolds' little brother,
Yep.
just being like a little shit.
Yep.
A little
And, like,
perverted little shit.
And also, like, somehow having a lot of power over other people.
Minions.
His reaction with the AV Club is hilarious because Christian,
What?
who in this movie is me?
You are him.
Okay, I knew you were going to say that.
You are Chris Marquette.
In high school, even, I remember because I led the lighting department in the drama.
Did you have minions?
I had people who I would be like, no, get the fuck out. And I had at least two people, younger people.
So you were well on your way to becoming a Chris Marquette.
For
Because
sure.
he had about 10 minions.
But I'll tell you who I wish I was.
Who?
Guess.
Emil?
No.
No?
Timothy Oliphant.
Timothy Oliphant
the
is a
coolest
piece of
person
shit.
Ever. Shut
no,
your mouth.
he's a
Stop
piece
it.
of
Shut the
shit
fuck
in
up.
this movie.
You're a fucking asshole. Timothy Oliphant
is
the
a
coolest
piece
person
of shit.
ever. Stop.
Glad
it.
we agree.
Stop. Oh my
Glad
god.
we agree.
Say it again. Christian, he is the fucking coolest person
shit.
ever. Fuck you. Coolest person
shit.
ever. You're fucking being a dick.
No,
Say
you're
it.
being a
Timothy
dick.
Oliphant
Is
the coolest
Let's
person.
break down Timothy Oliphant real quick.
my God.
He is a producer
He
in
has
the
a
porn
cool
industry.
Pontiac GTO.
That's materialistic.
He's got a dope leather jacket.
Still materialistic.
He is a producer of pornographic films in California.
This guy has a weird hairstyle.
Nope, that was of the time. I'll tell you who has a weird hairstyle. Emil Hirsch, after he finally has...
No, he has cool hair.
Well, no, he has like
his
a
hair
Theo-
is very
he has
much
a
like
Theo Von
yours.
mullet. Fuck you. The texture is, the style isn't. He has
No,
a Theo Von
he does
mullet.
not have a
He has
mullet.
a mullet.
If you're talking about when
he comes
he's-
back into school after his first good night with the girl, before he like fucks
Super
her up with the
cool.
mullet,
Super
he's got
cool.
a straight up
So
Theo
cool.
Von mullet.
Yo, Theo Von
Mullet.
gets them ladies, though.
Theo Von has a lot of money and tells funny stories. That's how he gets
That's
money.
personality. And also, his mullet, he makes it look okay. This guy, Emil Hirsch, after he had his first good night with Danielle, he's walking down the hallways of the school,
Smirking and-
striding
It's when
like
Chris Marquette does the Minions joke.
what Min's joke?
Because he pulls him into the AV club and he's like, Minions out, and they don't move. And he's like,
Yeah.
I said Minions out.
Yep, that happens shortly after.
I literally wrote a letter to my light bitches and
Wait.
and posted it and then
Did
gave
you
it
just
to
call them
them.
your light bitches?
That's what I called them to their faces.
Yo, light bitches, out.
I even remember at the time, one time running backstage and being like, I need 3 rich yards to come with me. And like, there was like a group of
Holy
7
shit.
techs who were like, all right. And they like all came with me. Different time.
Different time.
Yeah.
That,
I'm not proud of it.
You're Chris Marquette, dude.
I am.
I'm glad that we deciphered that. I was
am.
watching that entire time, giving shitty advice about how to get a girl. That's it. You.
His advice was really bad on that. The reason why the motel scene was so awkward was one, because I know those tactics are so fucking gross and men actually do that shit, made me very uncomfortable. It made me super uncomfortable that Emil Hirsch was forcing this fake. And it's not, and like we said on the Nick Lowe episode, it's not like I don't have a fake person that I am when I'm talking to people, but at least I'm not that seems so
Well,
fucking...
that was exaggerated. I mean, to break down his advice that he was given to Emil Hirsch, he was saying, first of all, you gotta seem
Touch
like
her
you don't
face
like her.
yeah.
Touch her face constantly.
Okay, and here's the worst part. When he said that rule, that was at first I'm like, okay, Chris Marquette's dropping some pearls here. He's dropping some good knowledge.
Both
here.
of those?
The first one.
Act like you don't like her?
That's arguably also later on when Timothy Oliphant like shows. Shout out, cameo, Olivia Wilde. When he shows those 3 chicks like that little half baggie of garbage weed and then doesn't give it to him, sticks in his pocket and walks out and says like, always have him wanting more. Also, objectively, a great piece of advice for getting women.
Wow. So you're a mixture of Chris Marquette and Timothy Oliphant?
I don't like you saying
You sound
that.
proud. Yeah, you don't like how it sounds.
Those were, but objectively,
You'd make a disgusting human. If you
I
were
am
those-
a human. I am a human.
And you are
just
disgusting?
called me disgusting. Fuck you. This is the most egregious thing you've ever called me.
How did I know you're going to say egregious? I knew you were going to use that word.
You're gonna use that word. You're such a fucking smart man,
Look at
motherfucker.
you.
over
You kind of
here.
look like Timothy Oliphant right
I
now.
look like Timothy Oliphant. Look,
Yeah.
motherfucker. Timothy Oliphant is the coolest guy in this film. He beats up the jocks who are being assholes.
Dude, he beats up a 17-year-old kid.
He doesn't beat him up. He throws him off his
He
car.
like smacks his face and he's bleeding.
Why is that kid on the hood of his car?
Well, no, not that kid.
Oh,
The main character. And he
Emil.
continues.
He had it
Timothy
coming.
Oliphant's a piece of shit. No,
Emil Oliphant lost $30,000, Christian.
big fucking dick.
30.
Big fucking dick.
Okay, how about you just give me $30,000 then and
He'll
see how
make it
big
again
fucking
with the
dick it
next
is?
deal.
No, Christian.
has a bunch of
do
other
you
porn
understand
stars,
how
I'm
the film
sure.
industry works? You have
Nah,
to use the
I
money.
don't make porn.
You have to. It's not about porn. It's any film. You have to use your gains from the last film to finance your next film, so you can produce a bigger and higher budget film.
But dude,
He needs that $30,000 to progress,
legally,
so he can get.
it's fine. Legally, it is completely fine. Alicia Cuthbert
Business.
made the decision to not be in the porn industry anymore.
Which is again fine.
That's fine.
I agree.
She
that,
realized
yes.
that she has
It's not for her.
a better life than that for herself.
Yep.
Not saying that working in the porn industry is bad, but it wasn't her. You could see they made it a point to have close-up shots to her face when she was at the porn convention that she was not happy. One of my favorite, dude, I need to back up a little bit. I loved this movie also because it was so romantic. Tell me that party scene did not get to you. That was dope.
It was borderline. Again, very uncomfortable for me because it was borderline rapey.
What?
When the jock turns to his two
that's a
wingmen-
piece of shit.
Yes, and turns to his two wingmen, and they like no, they have like
They have a plan.
moves. So you go over here, and you're gonna take the guy, and you go over here and get the drinks. Did you think that there was gonna be something in that drink?
Possibly. Those guys are a little rapey.
100% thought that there was going to be the reason why he had another person bring them drinks because he offered to go get drinks and never left. Had drinks brought to them. It seems so fucking cringy and gross to me. That made me really uncomfortable. And then Emil Hirsch, to kind of dilute the situation to make it seem okay, runs over to her and smooches her so hard on the mouth. He didn't ask for consent.
Making me so mad. You're ruining one of my favorite scenes in this movie. You're making me so mad. I've played this scene 3 times over when I watched this last night. 3 times. Because the movie or the song playing in the background is Under Pressure by Queen. It's saying, under pressure. We know how the fucking song goes. But you know, toward the very, this is our, and it's getting so climactic. And he's at that breaking point where he has 2 paths ahead of him. He's like, okay, I could be a little bitch and get kicked out of this party and leave. Or I could go get my fucking girl. I could go up to her, and he's looking at her almost flirting with this guy and going away with him. He's almost losing Alicia Cuthbert, and he says, fuck it. He walks up to her
Okay, I'll let you finish.
and just gives her a kiss. And then it's that very cheesy, but it works, camera angle where he just spins around
was
them like
nice.
nothing
That
else
was nice.
exists. And I loved it.
Okay, let me say a couple of things right off
Go
the
ahead.
bat. Number one, that was a great scene. The soundtrack, the filming, the kiss was shot nicely. Here's what, and also I understand how good it feels to be with like the hottest chick in the party. You know what I mean? Or at least if you think you're with the hottest chick at the party, it's great.
I like how throwaway that fucking boast was, dude. I know, like it's a fucking hassle. Like it's boo-hoo. I know how it feels to be with the hottest chick at the party. It's so hard. It's so hard.
No,
Fuck you, dude.
this is my favorite episode we've ever recorded. Oh, my stomach hurts. Okay.
Sweaty.
Shut up, fuck
I'm
you.
so
That's
upset
not
at you.
what I meant.
I'm so
Not
mad.
what I meant at all.
Halfway through that sentence, you realized what you were saying.
Oh man. Oh god.
I'm sweating. You've made me so angry. Don't fan me. I don't want your fan.
Okay, here's what I found upsetting about that scene.
What?
Emil Hirsch, besides the fact that the jock did that horrible raptor split into threes move,
Yes.
what I also didn't like was when Emil Hirsch. Okay, also Emil Hirsch is brought back into the party by some drunk guy who is dead set on fucking the foreign exchange
Sam
student.
Young. Everyone loves Sam
He's
Young.
brought it up. He brings it up 4 times in the film.
Yeah, because that's the same dude from the assembly.
Who shouts out, "I'm gonna fuck you!" Like he, as soon as Yum Yum comes off the airplane, Homeboy should have told him, "Hey man, stay away from Chad. Chad is going to.
He's gonna fuck you."
He has been joking, but weirdly serious 4 months now. So if you want to keep that asshole tight, you better stay away from Chad.
This poor Cambodian kid. Chad is a closeted Asian philiac.
He is not closeted.
Yeah, he's
not
well
close.
out, actually.
So anyways, this weirdo brings Emil Hirsch back into the party, and he sees Danielle talking to this guy. She's allowed to talk to other guys. She's allowed
They're not
to
dating.
laugh at what the other guy's saying. She's not necessarily flirting with that other guy. He gets jealous. We see it happen in his eyes. We see him get jealous that she's having an interaction with another guy. And that's not okay for him to go over there and assert his dominance over that guy because he's not kissing her because he likes her or because he wants to do it. He's kissing her because he doesn't want to lose her to this other guy.
I see what you're saying. But
It's almost as if he wishes, it's almost as if, and you're going to get mad again, but let me finish what I'm saying.
Okay, say
It's
it.
almost as if he wishes he was kissing the jock because he's not doing it for her. He's not even doing it for him. He's literally kissing this girl to assert dominance over a man
It's
who
not-
he might wish he was kissing.
No. Don't you say that.
Mic drop.
Don't throw the mic like you just won that. I have a rebuttal. It's not that he's jealous. He's not jealous by any means.
At the
This
least-
is his
at-
own
at
internal
the least
conflict.
he is jealous. He is okay. I said some pretty egregious things in that last sentence, but he is jealous. You see him get jealous that she's laughing, because why else would they show us that she's laughing at this conversation with this jock? Unless it was to prove that that is the thing that sets him off.
No, like I said, it's that moment in time.
She's not his to lose.
No, not at all.
So he has no
It's
right
an
to feel that way. What he's feeling is jealousy, Christian.
No, it's his own opportunity right now. The whole theme of this movie.
He had 2 opportunities before this, and he missed his chance.
Yes, 'cause
when he
he's-
was in the car with her, he had multiple times to kiss this woman if it was to serve him and her and their feelings. This kiss was a forced kiss to assert dominance over a different man.
That it's not. It's more than just that. Yes, there's a dominance
is it
factor,
for sure.
and I'm okay with it because that jock was a piece of fucking shit. Assert your dominance, Emil Hirsch. Also, like I said, this entire movie is about him being timid. Him, before going to Georgetown, he has to do something big. He's not going crazy. He has an opportunity right here, and he actually really likes this girl. He's seeing. It's basically. I don't know. It's the split of 2 parallel universes. There's a universe. There's a whole nother fucking movie where he walked out of the party and he lived a sad life. And there's this whole other life that this movie followed about him actually kissing that girl. Have you ever thought to yourself, fuck, I should have kissed that girl?
A lot of times.
Yes.
Plenty of times.
Yes.
That's what happens when you have a rating of 3 out of 10.
Dude, your rating is higher than that.
Thanks. That's going to be the promo. Your rating is higher than that. Bing.
That's all you want. You just
ICBTB.com.
hey,
That
check out
actually
our
would be a
website.
really funny promo. But
Yeah.
we'll cut this part out. Anyways,
There's so much more about this
Look,
movie.
let's go a little bit further. I don't care if this is a 7-hour podcast.
I don't fucking
But I'm
care.
happy because I'm having a really good time.
Same, dude.
This is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So fuck Jeff for telling me not to talk about high school on my podcast because this is my show.
I'm fine with talking about high school.
Every
It's-
once in a while, it's fine. I don't know how we can do an episode like this and not talk about high school.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. It's kind of like
So the title of this episode is "Don't Listen, Jeff."
The Girl Next Door and Don't Listen, Jeff. And he's like, well, I gotta listen now.
No, there's a lot of underlying, deeply emotional connections in this film.
Yeah.
And for them to throw them aside as flippantly as they do, just to progress the storyline more, is jarring to me. And one of the reasons why I couldn't really get too into this film.
What are other moments that kind of made you feel that way?
So when Timothy Olyphant turns up and Emil Hirsch, this is after the whole motel scene. Mm-hmm. And it's as if it's the next day. He goes next door to kind of like make up and fix what he had just done.
Yeah.
Timothy Olyphant is already there.
Yeah.
He's already in the house. And it's like, why is this guy already here? How quickly? How
far away is LA? I don't know. Yeah, because he's a
we don't
producer
know where
in
they
LA.
are. It looks like they're in like Texas, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
How fragile is Danielle's decision to leave this industry if this guy is one bad night away from
Just losing his.
one bad night away from him coming to collect her? Because he's going there to collect her. Why do you think Timothy Olyphant's there? Do you think she called him? I think Danielle called him.
No,
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think that I think that he came to her because he needed the money. That's what I've always thought it was. Because if he's going to great lengths to secure
don't
this
trust money.
$30,000, he's stealing this kid's money that was supposed to bring this Cambodian child to America. He's stealing that money because he must be super.
He's stealing that money because he had $30,000 that was lost because
it's a principle
because
thing.
he financed the film. Yeah.
So you do
That's-
think Danielle hit him up? Because we don't know what her financial stability is like at all. It could be her
got a nice-
emotional stability. She's
got a
just
nice
like, this
pug.
is what Emil Hirsch thinks of me. I guess that's what I am, a porn star. Because she was broken at that night at the motel. And I think
Yeah.
that's why this movie, that part was so uncomfortable, yet it was so important. Such an important scene in that movie is she fell in love with him because he looked at her the way no one else has ever looked at her. You know, she's viewed as this sex symbol. And to be viewed for your
Not even a symbol, the sex thing.
just
Yeah.
just sex. He looks at her like another human, like just knowing her for just loving her man, I'm getting lost with it. But, you know, just really
But loving her,
falling in love
it's
with
just
her.
at it. You're not losing it. That's the end of the sentence.
Like the whole scene, one of my favorite scenes was the diner scene where she's just kind of like drawing herself and she's saying, you kind of need a girl that can make you laugh. And of course he laughs, like a girl that'll make you come out of your shell and do crazy things. He's like strip out in front of a car. She's like, yeah. And then she hands him that napkin of that drawing of herself. And it is a beautiful scene. And they continue to hang out for a while. Then Chris Marquette comes out of the cuts and fucks it up and shows. Let's talk about Chris Marquette real quick.
Real quick, that drawing was actually done by her. She actually drew that.
Really?
Yeah.
She's a fantastic artist.
Let's talk about Chris Marquette.
I think he's really funny.
I agree.
Even though he pisses me off, he's an important character.
I think a better film is about Chris Marquette, Paul Dano, and Emile Hirsch trying to convince a porn star to be his girlfriend. I think that's a better, funnier movie. And I think a dark drama also on the other side is of Emile Hirsch and Danielle and Timothy Oliphant, you know, trying to break this. I think they just tried to do too much in one film.
I think it made it different though than other films.
I think it turns it into a Hallmark film. I
No,
think it turns it into like
Hallmark film.
an overly emotional, unbelievable scenario.
Man, you're really caught up on this whole thing that it's just so confused. You haven't defended this film at all.
I haven't. I said at the top that I do think it's that
All
bad.
right, well, let me continue to defend it. The scene where Emile Hirsch is watching Alicia Cuthbert undress.
naked?
Yeah, not
That's so bad,
that's
bro.
terrible. No, what I'm breaking down is that he's on the phone with Christopher
Okay.
Marquette,
And Chris Marquette's watching porn.
and he's watching porn, and
Loudly.
he's barely listening to what the main guy's saying about
Emile
the
Hirsch?
girl next door. Yeah, and not until Emile says, "Oh my God, she's so hot," and
He's like,
Chris
"What channel?"
He says, "What channel?"
And he goes, no, the girl next door. And then Emile Hirsch says something like, she's getting naked. And Chris Marquette's like, what's her boobs like, dude? What's her boobs like? Tell me what her boobs are like.
Yeah, he's so annoying, man. And he hangs up, calls again, and he just hangs up on him again, dude. So funny.
I knew that scene, you were going to be like, that's Alex for sure. And
I didn't say it yet.
you have said it.
For that scene.
But I also think the other scene that made me laugh really hard was when Paul Dano's over at his house and they're watching porn again and it's all quiet and Paul Dano's just like, you know, Paul Dano's the best in this film.
He's
'Cause
fantastic.
He's like, you know, this makes me really uncomfortable when you make me do this.
Yeah, this is not the first time. And Chris Marquette says, shh, just
That's
get
very
used to it, and
high
touches
school
his
of some
leg.
people. Well, okay, he wasn't like doing it in a sexual way.
No.
Here's where I'll defend Chris Marquette. He wasn't doing it in like a weird "I'm coming on to you" way. He
Of
was
course
just,
not.
He was just touching. Hey,
That's
man,
his
it's
thing.
cool. Hey, we're cool.
That's his
We're
thing.
comfortable. I would touch you on the thigh if we were watching porn.
And I'd pull a Paul Dano. I'd be like, why are we watching porn together?
I think we have done that actually.
Yes, and you have touched my thigh while watching porn.
But that was different. I was trying to seduce you.
Didn't work.
It worked.
No, it didn't. Well, let's not tell the listeners
About our secrets.
about our secrets.
My life partner.
Paul, no. Oh, thanks, dude. You hear that, Nicolo? Paul Dano. Fantastic.
He plays a kid with a huge dick that apparently everybody knows.
Everyone in college, because that's where they end up playing the new sex ed video.
Is that what it was?
It's a sex education video, man.
Okay, no. Is that where they're playing it? I knew it was
Yeah.
a sex ed video, which is hilarious. That was a good twist. I didn't
A great
expect it. So
twist.
spoilers, they don't end up making a porno, but they do make a. So I do want to talk about real quick.
What's up?
So after they lose the money, Timothy Oliphant tells Emile Hirsch that he has to steal an award from this big porn producer in
Yes.
order to make it square.
Hugo
Hugo Posh.
Yeah, and that actor, fun fact, was Ajax in The Warriors and also Raiden in both of the Mortal Kombat movies in the 90s. Weird
oh
fun
my
facts.
god.
That's who that is. I kept on looking at him and I was
my
like,
God.
where the fuck do I know this guy?
That's great. I could not stop looking at
What?
the chessboard that he has. Like, first of all,
Chessboard?
in his house, he has a chessboard right outside the sliding glass door. So he has a chessboard outside. Fine, not the craziest thing. But the chess pieces are all salt and pepper shakers. So he has a set of 32 pieces for this chessboard, and they're all different sizes of salt and pepper shakers. And that just blew my mind because think about how much it costs just to keep that chess piece full. That's so much salt and pepper. It's just
Wait, where do you think it doesn't cost that much?
But
It's
you
not
have-
like they're using
but-
it after every game of chess.
No, but you have to buy the salt initially. The first time you buy it, you have to pay for the salt to fill
For
these
every
shakers.
single, I have to see how big each piece is.
I wonder. I wish there was a way I could pull up just that scene, but there's no way I could type in.
Salt and pepper chessboard, the girl next door. Are you trying it right now?
I am
Good luck. I doubt you'll find it.
vamp for me.
Hi, my name is Christian Baltazar, and I'm gonna vamp real quick.
Okay, first of all, I found the exact chessboard that they have in the film.
You're fucking kidding.
I am not. Well, not the one that was in the film, but the same brand or whatever. And
Was you just typed in salt and pepper chessboard?
it's running for $135.
Should we buy it?
The prop design.
Are we buying
Should
it?
we buy?
I'm so stressed at this
Guys,
decision.
watch this space for a new chessboard. If we don't buy that chessboard, we should buy the Democrats versus Republicans chessboard that they're selling on fucking like OAN
sounds
Network
fun.
and on CNN. It's literally Donald Trump is the king of the red side, and his queen is Mike Pence. It's insane.
Really?
This chessboard, the Democrat versus Republican chessboard, is one of the best things I've ever seen.
Who's on the Democratic side?
Well, now it's going to be Joe Biden because they hadn't established who the Democratic
Depending who was on in the
exactly.
lead.
So they were leaving it up to whoever it was. They're like, we won't send you.
Who would be the queen then? Is it gonna be Bernie?
No, the queen is Nancy Pelosi because she's the Speaker of the House.
Okay, that makes sense.
Barf. We're gonna have to cut out that barf.
Yeah, no political opinions on this platform.
This Democratic. Oh my god, dude! It is a $40 chessboard, and it has to be purchased by us.
I'm down to get it.
I
Well,
need
20 and 20?
I need this. Look at this deep, rich silver.
This is crazy that this is a thing.
This is not just a thing.
Imagine teaching your kids to play with this chessboard.
Look at Ruth Bader Ginsburg, bro.
That's detail. That's detail.
I'm not even a fan. I like RBJ because of what she did for women, but I'm not a fan for the fact that she picked the 2004 election by making George W. Bush our president and not letting them do a recount in Florida. But that's not here nor there. This is a movie podcast about the girl next door.
Yeah, we're getting like sucked deep into politics, not just politics, but like political memorabilia.
2000. And I said 2004. I meant 2000, but the fact still stands.
It still stands. Dude, yeah, Paul Dano has a big dick. He shoots the sex ed video in a fencing mask.
Because he was too young and they couldn't show his face.
That's what it was. What's crazy is that they shot that entire fucking thing during prom.
Do we want to talk about prom experiences?
We could. I mean, we're an hour in. It's up to you if you want to go. I'm down for a little bit longer.
I'm down.
Baddies, you down for a little bit longer?
Yay! Yeah, we are. All right.
Okay.
So, prom. They decide to do this huge thing where what they're going to do is film a porno during prom.
Exactly. They were going to film it in a room at the high school while prom was going on.
Starring the jocks and the cheerleaders.
The plan was to bring not the cheerleaders.
That's right. Olivia Wilde is not a cheerleader in this film.
No, she is not. Olivia Wilde's in this film and only has 3 lines.
But she does have a character name.
Does she?
Katie or Kelly?
I believe it. But anyway, Danielle, since she was an ex-porn star, she has connections with her porn star friends, and so she brings 2 porn stars in to be Paul Dano.
And Chris Marquette's date.
Yeah, exactly. They take a limo
I do
to
love
prom.
the limo that they have, how Chris Marquette has his minions filming the whole thing.
Everything.
And it's like a reality show documentary.
That's the point.
I love it.
That's the point. They wanted to shoot real sex. That's what was going to sell. That was
Which does
Timothy
sell
Olyphant.
quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. It's been selling more than parodies nowadays. Not that I would know. But
I still pay for parody. I'm just kidding. I don't pay for porn.
okay.
I don't pay for it.
You get it for free somewhere.
I
But
pay for it.
oh, you cuck. Prom. So with that, they bring the 2 porn stars to prom, and the jocks immediately recognize who these guys are. They say, "Hey, Matt, are those porn stars?"
Everybody recognizes them.
Yeah, and they're like, "Yeah, actually, we need 2 actors."
Didn't we have a porn star at our prom?
We had a porn star in the grade above us, but did we have a porn star at our prom? Like,
Yeah, didn't she come
gross
to the
dude.
prom? That's not what I meant.
Gross.
Stop. My mom listens to this.
And this is the point where she'll pause.
This is the blue chip episode. This might be the one episode I don't let my mom listen to.
Oh, that's
This might be the
kinda
blue chip.
smart.
This might be
That's
the blue chip.
All right, blue chip episode.
All right.
So it should be titled "The Girl Next Door" and "Mom, Don't Listen to This."
Parentheses, blue chip episode. And then I'll be like, Mom, there's things called blue chip episodes.
Oh, so
Don't
you'll have
listen
to
to
describe
those.
it.
Because I have a feeling we'll have more and more blue chip episodes. Because I want to start reviewing pornos.
Wait, really?
No, of course not.
How would you? All right, and this Roger Ebert gave this a 6 out of 9, and
Roger Ebert actually, well, that was a different film. Never mind. It was a film we just did a podcast on earlier.
let's
Means
not talk
nothing
about it.
here. But I'll say it as if it was for this film. Roger Ebert said that this film should be called Young Swords.
Oh, really?
Yes, because it puts back together the gentlemen from Young Guns, Kiefer Sutherland and Charlie Sheen.
Wow, that makes sense.
Guess, guys, guess which film we recorded right before this episode.
Yep,
But
Yeah.
we're recording Girl Next Door.
we are. So
And prom night, they go in and they decide to film this porn. But the cat's out of the bag. They're actually filming a sex ed video. Because all the sex ed videos they watch in high school are so silly and jokey.
and dated.
Super dated. I even remember watching some grossly dated sex ed videos.
Yeah.
Not gross, but like
They're dated.
very
You
outdated.
can tell.
But how often? I mean, I think teens having sex changes year to year. So you'd have to literally make one every year just to stay relevant.
I don't know about year to year. Not that frequent. Maybe.
I bet you the kids. I don't even want to say that. Never mind.
Yeah, that's going to be a weird rabbit hole that we don't want to jump into.
Uh,
But it is important to make this new sex ed video because no one's paying attention to the dated sex ed videos that they have playing at the high school.
I do think there's something in having porn stars do sex ed videos because there is a problem with the younger generation because internet porn is so readily available to them. A lot of young men and young women are learning about sex through porn, and that's not real sex. That's not real relationships.
No, it's not.
So they're having this slighted view of what they think porn is. They think it's these big tits, huge dick,
They think it's this
sloppy-
exaggerated thing that we see
and that's
online.
not how relationships or real sex is at all. So they're having this weird that's fucking with their psyche, and they're at such a young impressionable age that it's really affecting them. I worry if in the next 20, 30 years we're going to find out that internet porn is going to be a way worse thing than
Way
we actually
bad for
think
us.
it is.
Oh, I imagine. I was just talking about it, how I think it does play a factor in our sex drive to a certain extent.
And relationships, women, not necessarily all women, but some women can find it very difficult to feel like they have to compete with these women who are
Yeah.
sex goddesses, so to speak.
And guys, too. That's why I only watch porn
that's
with
so-
small dicks.
You type that in,
No, I'm kidding. Porn, small dicks. But make sure there's a girl in there.
please. You're like nice to the
That's
search
the
engine.
entire search bar.
I don't know why I can't find anything.
Yeah, this is too specific. It says 0 out of 0 results.
Prom is interesting. I noticed that their prom was very different than ours in the sense that there was no metal detector and nobody got patted down on the way in.
No, and it seems like they didn't buy tickets until or ever because they just brought the 2 porn stars in. Was there an ID check?
No way, dude. They brought in these like full-grown women.
Yeah.
Do you remember our prom had a rule: no one over 21. So like, if your boyfriend was older
Yeah.
than you,
Yeah.
I remember thinking that was a really interesting rule. But now I get it. It's
They don't want you
because
to buy they don't want alcohol to be bought.
It was bought.
Yeah. I mean, they knew that people were going to find their ways.
I feel
That's
so
high
much
school.
freer now knowing that I'm going to tell my mom not to listen to this episode. So I'm not afraid to talk.
Do you
about
legitimately feel restricted sometimes because you know your mom's going to listen
I
to
don't
the
want to
episode?
say too much stuff. My mom knows a lot of stuff. But there are some things that I know my mom doesn't know. And I don't want her to know those things for a reason.
And I haven't brought up some things knowing that your mom does listen.
Yeah, for sure. A couple of those things, and like, but like, for sure. And like the other things, and also that one thing with the banana. But we won't bring those up because it's not something that I want to be heard. Not just for my mom, just for everybody.
The banana thing. No one will ever hear about the
Stop.
banana
That's
thing.
enough.
I'm sorry.
It's just, how do you know you're not? It's besides the point.
Yeah, it's besides the point. Well,
How did you enjoy your prom?
my prom was interesting. If we're really going to talk about it, my junior prom went with the girl that I really liked. She couldn't really decide if she liked me back, but she went with me. You helped me ask that girl out. Remember, it was in my psychology class. I had you and a bunch of my other homies dress up in suits. I played the ukulele, and gosh, this is so cringy, but I'm gonna talk about it. And I was singing the song LOVE. by
Sing it
Nat
now.
King Cole.
Sing it.
But I changed the lyrics so that it could be
that's right.
prom. And I remember every single word.
Oh God.
Shall I sing it?
I would love, and I was a letter. I was one of the letters,
Yes,
wasn't I?
every single time I said the letter in the song, I would have one of my friends come in with a sign.
I will say, looking back at promposals now, all are cringy because even the best one I did is fairly cringy now to think about. So
Oh, I have to remember your. Well, I'll ask you what yours is afterwards, unless you don't want to bring it up.
tell your story.
Okay, so yeah, basically, I sang that song and I had my homies come in, but I changed the letters of LOVE to be PROM.
That's right.
So I sang the first verse of LOVE. Second verse, I brought in P.
So here, before you go into singing,
What's
I
up?
hate to cut you off.
That's okay.
This was like a 7-minute ordeal.
It was a long time. I definitely ruined the curriculum for the day.
You should have just done the PROM.
Yeah, but it's a big event.
You want it to be a big event.
Yeah.
We were centers of attention.
There's still a video. I'll have to send it to you, and we'll
There's
see
a
it.
couple of things we need to find for this episode. We need to find the picture of our 5th period Mr. Nelson's Lit 4 class.
Yes.
We need to find the video of you doing the promposal.
Okay.
And we need to find that photo of me and you at our senior prom.
Yes. That should be easy to find.
Easy
that
peasy.
should be super easy. Okay, so the song went like this. P, I'm possibly not the coolest guy.
You're not.
R, reject me and I'll probably cry. O is for oh my God, I know I'm not as hot as Austin Scott, but may I take you to prom?
That is actually arguably very good.
You think so?
I would like to say that is incredibly good.
Wow, thank you.
Less cringy than I think you expect. I think the deliverance should have just been that bit. Mm-hmm. But so good, Christian.
Thank you.
Yeah. I
tried to
hate-
sprinkle in some humor there with the Austin Scott
And
thing.
I hate giving you
Compliments.
compliments, especially about your singing, because I hate your singing voice.
I like seeing you in the I've had to sing in front of at a party because people have asked me, and you're there, and I love when you're drunk because that's when you don't give a shit about giving me compliments because you'll start singing along with me or you're just like super happy. That's nice. But when I sing for you when you're sober, you're just like, yeah, big fucking whoop.
I'm always worried sometimes when you sing for me and I'm drunk and I'm the guy. I do remember one time we were at a party and you're singing with an a cappella group, and I turned to Otis and I go, wouldn't it be funny? Or Otis turns to me and he goes, wouldn't it be funny if you said, Alex, or wouldn't it be funny if you said, Christian, is this the good a cappella group? And I was like, that would be funny. And I turned around and go, Christian, are you singing with the good a cappella group?
And at that group at that party that I had a lot of my acapella friends there from different groups. You ass. Gosh.
And I think one of them was standing right next to me.
I'm sure they looked at you. Damn.
I
dude.
will. Okay, your promposal is not cringy at all. A little bit, but it's a very good one because
Yeah.
the song is very good.
Thank
Mine
you.
is way worse.
What'd you do?
I, senior year, asked this girl to prom. I won't say names because you didn't say names.
Yeah.
But she knows who she is. It was during the musical practice, and I had like all the lights turned off.
I remember now.
And then you even like did the hand.
I remember now.
And I had all the lights turned off, and then I had like a light show thing going for Michael Jackson's "The Way You Make Me Feel." So it starts off like
I remember.
and so then Michael Jackson singing, and I was like kind of like lip singing to it.
Yeah.
And then I had a light that turned on, and on the wall it said prom.
That's not
And I had
cringy.
her like right in the middle. I feel, thinking back at that, I feel, and it's weird how
I have a cringy one. So we have a mutual friend. I'll tell you his name afterwards. I don't want to put him out there. But
say it and then we'll bleep it.
it was his girlfriend at the time that he was going to ask. And I think they broke up that day, or she was planning on breaking him up with him that day.
Oh God, I can't wait to find out who this was.
And he had the sign. He had like 3 signs. It says, no, 4 signs. I heart you, and then the rest of the sign said, "Will you go to prom with me?" Right. And he did it at the lockers in front of everyone, and she like ran away and then broke up with him later that day because it just wasn't working out. And then like I hung out with him because he was sad and crying all day, and I told him to come over. He brought the signs over here because he didn't want them at his house.
Are the signs
And I hid them.
still here?
They're still here, dude.
Oh,
They're still here. I hid them, and then I was like, let's watch a movie downstairs. We'll cheer you up." And so we ended up watching some movie, and it got doing that. It got the whole thing off of his mind. until my mom walks into the room saying, Christian, what are these signs? And it brings him up. Who do you love, Christian?
Oh no.
And he was like, fuck.
Who was it?
I'll tell you afterwards.
Say it and we'll just bleep it.
I don't want to.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yep.
We'll definitely cut that part out.
Yep.
I'll tell you, when I got asked to prom, I was super cute because Rachel,
I was super cute. Did you say you were super cute?
it was super cute.
Oh.
Because she had a big check and it was like a prom check thing.
That's cool.
And that was adorbs.
That's simple, not doing too much. And
Not
it's
cringy,
funny.
even in retrospect, because I still have the check.
You do?
I still have that check.
Hey,
So shout out to Rachel. I still have that check you gave me.
put it in the studio. Oh, it's like a normal
It's
size
huge.
catch?
No,
Check?
it's a big check.
Oh, we'll figure it
We'll
out.
find a spot for it. That's fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, yours isn't cringy. Mine's fairly cringy.
Nah, yours wasn't that bad, dude. You chose a good song at least. Now, if it was like
Yours, but you sang yours really well. Even now, I think people are gonna be like, "I'll go to prom with Christian."
Aw.
It's funny because I've dated women who didn't go to high school with me. You have the same, and so like explaining to them like for whatever reason why prom was so important to us, and then like now being like, "Oh yeah, I don't even like talk to that girl anymore."
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I only follow them on Instagram, but talking to them, nothing. Like,
yeah,
it's
I went
crazy.
to 4 proms. I think I talked to maybe one of them every once in a while.
once in a while. Yeah, 4 proms. 4 prom Alex is what they call you.
Fralix.
Fral. When you put 2 words together.
That's 3 words together.
Wow, that is
4 prom Alex.
Fralix.
Best person on set award, since this is a movie podcast, kind of.
Yeah, best person on set for me would have to go to. I'm gonna have to give it to Emil Hirsch. I know it's a cop out to give it to the main guy, but I think it's good enough because we don't see him enough.
You're talking
I
fast
really
'cause
just
you're
don't think
trying
we
to
see him enough.
fill the space. I think it's a good movie because
Fill the space so that I can find reasoning. You know me.
Take a second. What's your favorite scene that Emil Hirsch does, and what is it that he does so well?
I think he's able to show how conflicted he is. He plays a good character of like the coming of age character. Mm-hmm. He has so many different different sides to him. So like there's him being the super timid guy. There's him being the super smooth guy after he gets the kiss. And there's also him being, we didn't even talk about him being high on ecstasy when he was at the dinner.
That's pretty funny.
And the scene where he was just dancing and it was just a
Or-
montage of him dancing.
Or his weird obsession with John F. Kennedy, who was not a good president. I don't know why people use him as a barometer. He was a fucking bootlegger who
He wanted to quote John F.
he
Kennedy.
quoted Kennedy a bunch, and it's like that dude was just so full of jizz and couldn't keep it in his pants.
Jeez.
Took handfuls of pills every morning just so he could stand up straight, and then ruined America by trying to take away power from the CIA, thus forcing them to kill him so that they have unabridged power, so they could literally sell drugs to Americans, sell guns to the Iranians, and then use that money to make themselves smarter. Oh my God, I hate Kennedy and his entire family.
I
Not to
thought
mention
you weren't going to
his
do
dad-
political opinions on
I
this.
can't help it with the Kennedys. I can't help it. His dad works with the backs of Al Capone and then uses those mafia ties to get his son elected as president. And what's the first thing he does? He hires his brother to go after the fucking mob. It's just like they're hypocrites. I can't stand the Kennedys.
I think
Can't
this is
stand
why you
them.
don't like this movie, just because of that scene alone.
Who has a painting of Kennedy in their bedroom?
Emil Hirsch does. Emil Hirsch.
My best person on set award is John F. Kennedy. No, I'm just kidding.
Jesus Christ. Who?
My best person on set award is actually Timothy Oliphant.
Ugh.
Plays a great villain.
He's great. Yeah, no.
Totally believed him. I was also doing a very different character than we normally see, although he is playing Timothy Oliphant.
Yes, that's how Timothy. I've seen him. He's doing the Timothy Oliphant thing.
He is.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. We've talked your ears off. This is
Yeah.
going to be so much fun for people to.
To listen to.
I hope so. And
Yeah.
if not,
Fuck it. It's our show.
don't listen. Get to this point.
Don't listen.
Don't listen.
Download another episode, though. We like those downloads.
Those are good.
Yeah.
My name is Alejandro.
My name is Christian.
And you can follow Christian at Christian Has Asthma.
And you can follow Alejandro at call_me_Jesus.
You can meet us like on the street. We walk around. We're pretty public people.
But not right now because of COVID.
And but you can reach us through the internet.
Yep.
Just hit up our website.
At icbtb.com.
Or itcan'tbethatbad.com.
That's right.
Depends on how many letters you like.
Yeah. Send us an email or go to our website and send us an email through the website. That's
Definitely do the
possible.
second one.
Yeah.
It's all possible.
And follow us on Instagram at ICBTB Podcast.
Follow us on Twitter at ICBTB Podcast.
And yeah,
Like our page on Facebook.
rate and review.
Bye.
Bye.